Come with us as we take a look at some of the things that happen in order to prepare the engines for a Didcot Steam day. Meet Fraser. He is our driver today, and he'll be telling us about some of the things involved in prepping the loco. First things first is to top up the lubrication.
So what I'm going to do here, one of my first jobs in the morning when I get to the engine, is to go around and lubricate all of the oiling points on the engine. On this type of engine, there are about 60 or 70 oiling points, so it takes me about 45 minutes to go through, going around, over, under, through the engine, to get to all of those points to make sure that we've got enough lubrication on all the moving parts of the engine that they don't have any friction, they don't heat up. There's a lot of energy going through there, so those need to be nice, smooth, sliding joints for when we're going along. So these engines were not built with crew ergonomics in mind. You have to get yourself into some awkward positions sometimes to get some of the more interesting oiling points, such as this one inside here. So this one's a slightly special one. It's the only one we have on the engine like this, and this is actually the lubricant for the vacuum pump, which helps us keep the brakes, maintain the brakes off on the engine when we're going along. This is a special one because it's a vacuum. We need it to be a sealed system, which is why it's a screw in. So these are the corks we use for the lubrication. These are very traditional way. We still use them. The cork's great. It's slightly breathable, so it stops the system building up a pressure as it drains out. There's a little reed through the middle that allows it to breathe, and of course, being nice and soft, when you do drop one inside the engine, it's not going to cause any damage to the motion of the engine. It will just get mashed up by the engine. So, and they're nice and light. Thank you. So I'm going to go replace the one that I dropped, and then we will be ready to go.
Once the loco is lubricated, it's time to fill up with coal at the coal stage.
Right, so this is the coal stage, the Didcot coal stage, which is the original building from the 1930s when the shed was rebuilt. It's the last operating one in the country, and we still use it for regular day-to-day operations. So we have a set of what we call tubs, each of which contains half a ton of coal. They're loaded up from the wagons here, wetted down before we tip them into the engines so that we don't create too much dust. There's a long-standing myth that wet coal burns better. That's not really true. It's just to keep the dust down. And then in a minute you're going to see David and Daniel pushing the tub out onto the tipper. They'll then lift it up and empty the tub. So when the shed was operational, express passenger engine would take 10 or 12 of these tubs of coal to fill it up. And there would be guys up here working. That would be their only job, taking coal out of the wagons, putting it into the tubs, putting the tubs into the engines, and that was your entire day. So that's a pretty hard day, I think. Yeah, usually the driver wouldn't come up here. The crew will tell the driver and the fireman, we'll make a decision on how much coal they need for the day, and we'll tell the shunters who are putting the coal in how many tubs of coal we want, and they will put the coal in for us. So we don't usually come up here. We come up here to help, but we don't need to be up here. But this particular coal that we're using at the minute is Polish. We used to use Welsh coal until about 2 or 3 years ago. Unfortunately, they don't mine any coal in the UK anymore, so we had to import our coal. This stuff's from Poland. It's okay. It's a bit smokier than what we're used to. It burns a little bit different to what we're used to, but it's perfectly serviceable coal. So to get the wagon in, you'll see the coal stage is built on this ramp, and we literally push the wagon up the hill and put it inside the coal stage. That amount of coal will last us at Didcot. That will last us for a month or so's operation.
Now that the engine is ready to go, it's time to collect the carriages. Although the loco is now ready to carry passengers, It is good practice to keep it topped up with water whenever possible.
Right, so we start for lunch now. So we're going to take water, we're going to put more water in the tanks of the engine. This is always good practice, it just makes sure we've got enough water for the afternoon. So Daniel's up in the engine already and I'm going to swing him the bag.
Thank you.
So this is where we hope that we stopped in the right place to line the bag up with the tank.
Slightly out, but not too bad.
You get it in. Right, now careful, this bag is at the end of life. So,
well out of the way for this one.
okay, you ready?
No.
All right. Okay, so we'll turn the water on nice and gently. This bag has seen better days. So we're going to get quite a few leaks out of this, unfortunately. We'll just turn it on nice and gently and give the engine a wash. It usually takes 2 or 3 minutes to fill the tanks on the engine. You see we fill on one side of the engine. There is a balance tank going underneath the engine that will allow the water to feed from one side into the other. So we fill it fairly slowly that balance can come through and that both tanks on both sides of the engine fill up together. So this engine can hold 1900 gallons of water. This morning we've used about 700 or 800 gallons. So we could do the whole day on a single tank if we needed to. But it's always good practice just to put water in whenever you can. A big tender engine like Pendennis Castle will take 4,000 gallons in its tender. 1,000 gallons of water weighs about 4.5 tons. So it's quite a weight difference between an engine with water and an engine without water. No, so all Dan's looking for when he's up on the top is just to give me a warning when it starts to get close to the top of the tanks. I'll slow the water down when he tells me to. We'll give it 20-30 seconds to balance off, and then we will top it up if we need to. So we'll just see how that settles.
Happy with that?
Yep, I'm happy with that. Okay. There we go, we just tuck the chain out of the way and we're all done.
Join us next time as Fraser takes us inside the cab to see what it is like being a driver on a running loco. Subscribe now so you don't miss out.